because of no sin. I'ma endure. They always ask, you say you a Jew, how can you be sure? The prophecy, this in my DNA. Thank the Father, cause now we can see the way. I got my scriptures open. In this book, I got the proof and I can show it. Hey, show yourself approved. Show me the book and the chapter and verse. I just want to be sure. Seen too many blessings for me to go back to the curse. I look at my seed and I see the future. You say Messiah's coming, the feeling is mutual. Don't run from your calling, just let him use you. You never know, might be the one that can wake up these souls. Hey, look at the look on the pressing face. We was the underdog, they underestimate. We about to wake them up. Hey, just saw the news and it got me on 10. He about to wake up his people again. Wake them up. This ain't no trend. Hey, Jews all over the world. Now that you know who you are, it's important you stay in the spirit. Talk to 'em. They say nothing comes to a dreamer but a dream. Somebody lied. Go tell that to the prophets, the ones that I read. Yeah, why? It's coming to pass, they already saw it. I was sent them to warn us. I open this book and I see it in person. Show me the chapter and verse and I'm searching. What are the chances? Words that was written thousands of years ago will come to pass like it was written today. You got fringes on, have you been here before? I don't usually turn on the news, but today that's what I'm gonna do. Headline, Negroes are the Jews. Hand me the phone, I gotta call the Ark. You ain't gonna believe it. The truth going worldwide. We gotta label the harvest is not. We got the truth and it's hard to deny. He about to wake them up. Hey, just saw the news and it got me on 10. He about to wake up his people again. This ain't no trend. Hey, Jews all over the world. Now that you know who you are, it's important you stay in the spirit. Yeah, in times. I'm not going outside because of no sin. I'ma endure.
Oh yeah, you know he's Barack Hashem. Barack Hashem. As we approach the end.
You're not doing Twitter though. I mean, I'm not saying that if y'all know how to master that, but see, my thing, I don't know how long. What is not long anyway, right?
I'm dropping seeds everywhere I go. I believe a trail. Salvation matters only when I wake them up. I feed them well. I'm a word, it won't break, bend, fold, or need to fail. We doing this kingdom work. We eyeball, don't need a scale. You better sacrifice that flesh to the cross. You need a nail. Y'all the legend, Christ the Prince, so we watching them do his will. We know Jacob got next, so we watching them get the steel. The elder gon' serve the younger. We watching them grab the heel. Our eyes is towards the hill. Salvation coming for real. Deliverance we could feel. That daily bread is the meal. The woman right at your veil. Through Christ how we prevail. Who really trying to get sealed? That bloodshed was real. Time ticking fast, y'all, we at the end. Self-examination, putting down your sin. If you don't sin the judgment, ain't gon' never end. And if we don't come together, we ain't gon' never win. Oil in your lamp in the tribulation. It's about to get hard, y'all have patience. Trust in his word, it will never move. I will be trusting on you as we approach the end. Put away your sins. That's how you really get a win. Messiah coming back again. As we approach the end. Put away your sins. That's how you really get a win. Messiah coming back again.
Run the race, I run the race, gotta obtain, talking me to the matter, girded up for the battle, stay in a secret place, I know he's glad I was orders from the king, it's like fire in my veins, he pulled it out the dirt, and now these dry bones live again, my filthy comments told me, look at what he did, he said, for you know you need to repent. Don't wanna be caught slipping, so I drown under your wings. How could you forgive me after all the things that I did? I love you, I praise you in my gifts. I know your word is true, no, I'm just trying to get this way. Get this way. Feel when I get it. Don't know where to begin. Tell my people repay. Take a mistake, better life on our face. Step in the grave, he already got us a face. It take no breaks, gotta repent every day. Can't take no breaks, gotta repent every day. Take a mistake, better life on our face, yeah. Step in the grave, he already got us a place, yeah. Can't take no breaks, gotta repent every day, yeah. Can't take no breaks, gotta repent every day, yeah.
Put away your sins. Now you really get a win. Messiah coming back again.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Check your mic, check the mics to make sure we good. Make sure we okay. Shalom, shalom. All
Shalom,
right.
shalom.
All right, all right, all right. All right, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. It's again, it's always a blessing to be at the house of David on the Shabbat day. And I'd say shalom.
Shalom.
To the ones that's actually are virtually and online watching us today. I say shalom, which means peace. And to shalom, to the ones that's in my presence.
Right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, you say shalom when the person in your presence. When you walk into somebody's house, you say shalom because you physically see them. All right, but shalom to those that you cannot see. You might hear them on the phone. You say shalom. Okay. All right. With that being said, again, let's bless it. My name is Elder Ricard, and I'm on the appointments of the Council House of David. I'm here to teach you today, and it's glad that I'm here in the presence to see you all and teach the word of the Most High. All right. So again, we had a little late start, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still the Sabbath day, and we're going to come here and do what the Most High asks us to do, and just teach His word. And I've been in this truth for over 30 years. Over 30 years.
All
and
praises.
One thing I learned in this truth is that you have to be consistent. All right? You have to be Yahweh conscious of the Most High's laws. Because remember them, you can't break the laws. I'm going to say it again. You cannot break the Most High laws. The laws break you. The Most High laws break you. You can't break the Most High law. When you in this word, the Most High laws will break you. So keep that in mind. And also you have to have what is known as discipline. All right, we in this word. That's the first thing we was taught at One West. Discipline. All right. Character. That's another thing we taught, character. All right, always speaking the truth. Speaking in the right words, living life a certain way according to the scriptures, to the best of your ability. All right? And that's why we was always taught the letters of Paul, because Paul taught on character, your lifestyle. Always remember that. That's all Paul spoke about, lifestyle and your character. That's why if any teacher tell you not to read the book of Paul, if any teacher tells you that, watch their lifestyle. I'm gonna say that again. If any teacher that's an Israelite that tells you not to read any of the book of Paul, any of the letters of Paul, watch his lifestyle, because that's what Paul speaks against. Lifestyle, your character, the way you live. Okay, so watch that. All right, that's something I was taught at One West as well. All right. With that being said, the name of our class today is called "The Most High Rules in the kingdom of men. All right, write that down. Take out your notes, pens, highlighters, write it down in your notes. The Most High rules in the kingdom of men. Always remember that. Although you living in this world, and you're living in this empire, and you're living in this kingdom,
That's right.
and you're living in this rulership, remember the Most High rules in that empire.
That's right.
In that kingdom, in that rulership,
Okay,
in that world. The Most High rules that. Keep that in mind. Don't get upset at the politics. We all know it's politics. And everything's set up against Israel. But that's because the Most High is ruling in that. And that's all a part of having the patience of the saint. Okay? Having the patience of the saint, because the Most High is in charge of all things. All right, again, the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. So today we're gonna examine one of the most profound truths revealed in the scripture. Again, we're gonna examine one of the most profound truths revealed in the scripture, which is written in the book of Daniel, the 4th chapter and 17th verse. And it says, the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whomsoever he will. All right, that's just part of the scripture. That's just a precept out of that scripture. Now, these words were spoken during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar, the most powerful ruler at that time in the book of Daniel. He had vast armies. He had conquered nations. He built one of the greatest empires in history, the Babylonian Empire. One of the greatest. But the Most High gave him a lesson. The Most High taught him a lesson. When you read the story of Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king, the Most High taught him a lesson that every ruler, I don't care, every president, every current president, every current ruler of any nation that's on earth right now should read what Nebuchadnezzar experienced from the Most High. From the President Trump.
Right.
All right. To the president of Iran, the president of India, Pakistan, Israel, the King of England, Russia. All of them should read this Bible and get a lesson and understanding how the Most High dealt with Nebuchadnezzar. Because you know why? The Most High rulers in the kingdom of men. Come?
Right.
So human authority is temporary, but the Most High authority is absolute.
That's right.
Again, human authority. So all the rulers of these nations, your authority and rulership is temporary, but the Most High's authority is absolute. Now, Nebuchadnezzar, you remember he had success, he had power, he had wealth, he had a position to do anything he wanted. He raised up leaders, he removed kingdoms, right? And he accomplished his purpose through the history. But behind the rise and fall of nations stands the sovereign hand of the Most High.
That's right.
Again, behind the rise and fall of nations stands the sovereign hand of the Most High. All right. With that, I want to start with a PowerPoint. I want you to bring up PowerPoint 1 for me. Okay. I want to bring that up. PowerPoint 1. And I'm going to read this first, and then I'm going to read it come after me. This PowerPoint says, how shall we understand the rise of nations? You can write that down. If not, take a screenshot of this PowerPoint. You can. Those who want me to email, I can email you this short PowerPoint. But let's begin with here. It says, how should we understand the rise of nations? So I'm asking my reader, Mr. LeBron, could you continue reading what it says in that PowerPoint?
Are great nations simply the product of human wisdom, military strength, and economic success? Or is there a higher hand guiding the affairs of men?
All right, let's think about that. let's think about that. Now, it should start hitting you a little bit. Thinking about everything your president has said over the past year.
Could I read that again?
You can read that again. I'm gonna read the question first.
Go ahead.
It says here, how should we understand the rise of nations? Okay.
And the rebuttal is, are great nations simply the product of human wisdom, military strength, and economic success? Or is there a higher hand guiding the affairs of men?
Let's think about that. Because people might think is, every president that was on this earth, every war that we might have had, every empire, that was through human wisdom. All right? Exploration, colonialism. All right? That's human wisdom. Military strength or economic success. But we want it. The question is there a higher hand guiding this? All right? Now, let's go to the book of Daniel, the 4th chapter. And let's read that famous verse, the 4th chapter. Let's read that 17th verse to see, can we get an answer to that question?
Right.
All right, Daniel, the 4th chapter and the 17th verse.
Reading out the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 17.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
All right, it says this matter or this affair is by the decree of the watchers. Now you can underline watchers there. In that particular verse, we're talking about the angels right there. Right. That's the angels of the Most High. All right, that's the angel. Because who was with the Most High when he created the earth? The angels. All right. Who was with the Most High when he created man?
The angels.
Who's with the Most High when he created the heavenly bodies? Who's the Most High when the Garden of Eden was created?
The angels.
Who's with the Most High when Eve was born?
The angels.
All right. All right, so read that again. Verse 17.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
Go ahead.
And the demand by the word of the holy ones.
And the demand, all right, and the demand by the word of the holy ones. That's also talking about the angels, because more than one angel. Talk about the angels. And whether you know it or not, angels, the angels have jurisdiction over the kingdoms.
That's right.
And the earth. They have jurisdiction. They can destroy any kingdom. They can destroy the earth once the Most High gives them the word. All right, now let's hold that. Let's go to Revelations, 7th chapter. Show what I mean. I'm sure how much power the angels have when they are in line with the Most High, which the most are. All right, let's go to start at Revelation 7th chapter, start the 1st verse.
Read out the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 1.
You can lower that. You can lower that down. Give it to the main screen again. 7 and 1. Go ahead.
And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth.
You saw who standing on the 4 corners?
Saw 4 angels.
4 angels, watchmen, watchers.
That's right.
I saw 4 watchers standing on the 4 corners of the earth. Go ahead.
Holding the 4 winds of the earth.
What were they doing?
Holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Now these angels, like I said, they got power. They got jurisdiction. Now they're actually holding the 4 winds of the earth. All right, continue.
That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Now look how strong they are. Not only are they so strong, but They had the ability to hold back wind.
That's right.
Which the Most High created. The Most High created the wind for his purpose. But they had the ability to hold back the wind, which is something that they didn't make. Remember, the angels didn't make the wind. The Most High made the wind. And I can show you that. Okay? The angels didn't make the wind. The Most High made the wind. Okay? But they had the ability to hold back the wind that the Most High made. That's how strong they were.
Right.
All right? Most High made them that strong. Okay? All right, continue.
Yeah. Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw another angel
Mm-hmm.
ascending from the east,
Go ahead.
having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels.
All right. There's another angel. That's another class. There's another angel talking to the four angels. By a show of hand, who was that? Who was that angel?
Yahushua.
Yahushua. That's Yahushua.
Coming out of the east.
Don't let nobody tell you that's any other. All right, matter of fact, let's hold that note, hold that. And I want you all to write the order of the angels down. All right, write the order. I'm gonna give you the order of the angels right now. All right. Again, this is also what I was taught at One West over 30 years ago. All right. These are the orders of the angels. All right. You write this order. It's Yahweh. Matter of fact, if y'all can, someone can write it in the chat, that'd be good as well. This is the order of the angels. It's Yahweh. After Yahweh, it's Yahushua. This is the order. Not saying that those are angels themselves. Yahweh, Yahushua, not the angels, but this is the order of the angels. All right. Then after that, Yahushua stands the four archangels. You got the four archangels. And does anybody know who the four archangels are? If you don't, write this down. If you can't, write it in the chat as well. Anybody can write in the chat. These are the four archangels. Number one is Mayaka Allah, which is Michael.
Mm-hmm.
What is he known for?
War.
War.
Who is like the Most High?
Who is like the Most High? That's what it means. The water for that. Who is like the Most High? Mayaka Allah. All right. The second one
Gabriel.
is Gabriel or Gabriel. All right. What was his job? He's the messenger.
Messengers.
Who came to Mary?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. He always brings the messages of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he got that trumpet.
And he got that trumpet as well. The next one is Uriel. 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 You can read about him in Book of Esdras, 2nd chapter. All right. 4th chapter, 2nd Esdras. You can read about him. And the last one is Raphael. Raphael. And what is his main principle?
Health.
Health, healer. All right, he's one that heals you. So when you pray, you ask the Most High, Yahushua, to send Raphael to pray for. So that's what we do at the house. We ask the Most High, sends angels, Raphael, to come and heal our sisters and brothers. Okay, you always ask the Most High to send Raphael. Send Raphael. Okay, to heal. Okay. All right. So you can read about him in the Book of Tobit.
Right.
So again, the four archangels is Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael. They come right after Yahushua. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then after the four archangels are who?
The cherubs.
The seven. All right. You got what we could have cherubim too, but yeah, talk about the seven angels. All right. Because you'll read about that in Revelation 4th chapter. It tells you about that order.
My book.
All right. You have the 7. And then after that, you got the 24 elders. Okay, you got that?
Come.
And you can read that in Revelation 4th chapter if you want to reference that. Y'all with me? You all right?
Come.
All right, let's go back to Revelation 7th chapter.
Got you. Reading out the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power.
That's the Yahweh shall have the seal of the Most High.
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Only one that could do it.
Good.
All praises.
Good. So if you didn't know that, that's Yahweh Shai there. And what did he say to the angels?
And he cried out with a loud voice.
With
to
a
the
loud
4 angels,
voice. Cry with a loud voice.
to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
To do what?
To whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Now, who has the ability to hurt the earth and the sea?
4 angels.
Angels. They got a lot of authority. They can take down any kingdom. Who you think's going to be there when destruction comes? and them angels. So if they can hurt the earth and the sea, a nation is no. Our current administration, all right, America, the superpower of the earth. No matter how much nuclear weapons it has, they cannot compare what the angels can do to them. And we're going to find out that this whole earth, the rulers are fighting over nuclear weapons. What we're going through right now with Iran is the fight for proliferation of nuclear weapons.
Right.
Who can have it? Who can't? All right. That's what it's all about.
All about.
But they think they can use that not only against other nations, but they think they can use that against the Most High. All right. Go ahead.
Quick statement.
Mm-hmm.
The angels, they control the wind and over the sea, so they could misdirect the nuclear missiles, misdirect them.
Exactly, and they can compress it.
Yeah, all of that.
They can compress a nuclear weapon. They can compress it. It's no match.
No match at all.
No match. All right. You got to remember, that's why I say it's not about human wisdom.
Right.
Because who gave man the wisdom to create nuclear weapons? The Most High. So he's not going to give you nothing in your mind that can take out his authority.
That's right.
What kind of power would that be? If you give something that you made the authority to take you out.
It's like the teacher becoming the master.
Exactly.
Student becoming the master.
Correct. Listen, I created you, but I'll take you out.
Word.
Yeah, I brought you in, but I'll take you out. All right. So again, the angels have that much power to destroy the earth and the sea. And I use that analogy. Because they're the ones that have jurisdiction over nations and kingdoms. All right. Now let's go back to Daniel 4th chapter.
You don't want me to read 3?
No, you don't have to.
Okay. All right.
All right. Daniel 4th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to that.
Should have held it.
That's okay. 17th verse.
Yeah. Read out the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17. Again.
Go ahead.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
And hold on now, let's underline where it says there, because the power that the angels have, right, and it's up to their decree, it says to the intent that the living, which is us, the people, that nation that's on the earth, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in kingdom of men. So everybody on this earth, every president, every king, every prime minister that's on this earth is to the intent, because they are living on the earth, that the Most High ruleth in the kingdoms of men. All right, continue on.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Now that second precept says, not only does he rule the kingdom of men, he says he give it to whomsoever.
Whomsoever.
All right? So every ruler that you've known in history, the Most High gave it to that individual, right, including Nebuchadnezzar. All right? Including Cyrus. That's why the Most High says Cyrus is anointed. Because he brought him here to do his will.
Nimrod.
All right? And Nimrod.
That's right.
All right? And then it says here, it set him over the basis of men, the lowest of men. Now, I don't care what y'all say. Right now, the current president is probably one of the
basis. Sub-zero.
Miseducated president we ever had. I'm telling you, he's the most educated president we ever had in the United States, 250 years of history.
Going out with
he's not intelligent at all.
Not at all.
Not whatsoever. He's not intelligent. The people that walk around here on the street are wiser. I know I'm wiser than he is. I know I'm wiser than he is. All right? Because he doesn't read anything. He doesn't read anything. He operates off emotions.
Right.
He operates off emotions.
And he's sleepier than sleepy Joe.
Right. Now, some of the presidents you might have had, like President Carter, you might have read about him, President Carter, he read everything that went across his desk. Like one of the smartest presidents they ever had, President Carter. He read everything that came across his desk. John F. Kennedy read a lot that came across his desk.
Yeah.
President Barack Obama read a lot that came across his desk. But this president you have now, anything come across his desk, believe me, he's not reading it. He listens to anybody else but what's in front of him. All right? He listens to everybody else. He operates off, and I don't want to take this to part of my class. He operates off emotions, and he operates on what is known as who he feel that he can trust, not experts. He'll get rid, if he don't trust the expert, he'll get rid of the experts.
You're right.
All right. Right now, they're stating Iran is having difficulty negotiating with America because you got non-experts talking about nuclear weapons. So how can they talk and negotiate properly if you don't have experts that knows about nuclear weapons? Yeah. But you got the president who puts his son-in-law or other individuals that's not experts in nuclear weapons or nuclear war to negotiate with another country that's been dealing with this for the past 30, 40 years. So they're having difficulty negotiating with America because your president has removed all the experts in that field. And nobody's there to negotiate properly how to deal with nuclear weapons of different nations. All right? All right, now, let's go to, matter of fact, as you know, July 4th, couple of weeks, right? America is embarking on 250-year anniversary as a ruling power. Now, many people are planning, a lot of people are preparing for the 250 years. Just like they're planning for the New York Knicks to win, they're planning for the 250th year of America on July 4th of this year. Now, not many nations have experienced this longevity under a constitutional system. Not many nations. So, having that America being 250 years, not many nations experience that. All right? Not many nations. Military strength, technical innovation, global impact. Not many nations can say that. So this is just something big the United States is looking for. The White House administration is preparing for this now. Okay? Now, let's go. Let's go to slide 2. Oh, I can pull a slide 2 for me, and I want you to write this down. I wrote this. Listen to what it says here. It says, history is a graveyard of empires.
Yeah.
Y'all know that, right? I'm explaining what I mean by that. History is a graveyard of empires that believe they are indispensable. Now, if you hear any other historian says these exact words, they got it from me. They got it from me. All right. It says here, I say history is a graveyard of empires that believe they were indispensable. Now, I'll show what I mean. Let's review the list in history. Let's look at this graveyard in history of empires. Okay, go to slide 3. All right, look at this graveyard here. You have seen this before. All right, at the top, you got Egypt, right? This is history. Did they last forever? Egypt declined, right? That's in the grave. Egypt was in the grave.
That's right.
All right. Secondly, Assyria. Did that last forever? That's another empire that died. Next one's Babylon. That too succumbed to the Most High. And that empire died. Then you got a Persian and Medes, Medo-Persia. That didn't last forever. That soon declined and died. You see his graveyard getting bigger and bigger? History is a graveyard of empires. Okay? This is a graveyard of empires. Then you had Greece. That didn't last forever, no, right?
Nope.
That soon died and declined. You had Rome, great Roman Empire. Did it last forever? No. That died. Even though we still have some of the remnants and results of Rome, yes. I believe in that saying, says dead men ruled the earth. That's true. Dead men still rule the earth. All right? The Caesars, they still rule the earth, even though they're dead.
Right.
All your holidays, calendars, it's Romans.
Right.
All right? They still rule the earth. Even your haircut, Caesar. One of the most popular haircuts is called what?
Caesar.
A Caesar. So what they do? They still ruling the earth, and they dead. The Caesars are dead, but people still going to get a Caesar haircut. Right? That's the word you use. So try not to use that word. That way you can't worship him. Tell your barber, you give me a low haircut. All right? Don't give me the Caesar. Okay? Don't give me a Caesar. All right, so again, then you got Britain and U.S. Now, I'm gonna show you. Let's go to slide 4, Empire dates. Let's take a look at this. Again, history is a graveyard of empires. All right, now, Let's look at Egypt. This empire, which it lasted 2,768 years. The longest reigning empire, the Most High allowed Egypt to reign. The longest. Almost 3,000 years. How many dynasties they had? 33? 33 dynasties. And we were in what dynasty which was the height of the empire?
18.
The 18th dynasty during the time of Moses. That's the 18th dynasty. Babylon, all right, lasted only 87 years. Persia, Cyrus, they lasted 220 years. Greece, 300 years. But actually, Alexander, his unified empire only lasted, I think, 12 years.
12 years before he died,
Yeah. So majority of that was during the Hellenistic period. The Greece. It lasted 300 years, but Alexander's unified empire only lasted 12 years. So that 300 years encompasses Hellenistic times. Then you had Rome, 500 years in the West, because they count from over 1,000 years for Rome, because they count from 27 BC to 1453. 27, and year 36, that's when they put Herod into power to rule over Jerusalem. 36. Now the Maccabees was fighting during that time as well. Now, Great Britain, which hasn't officially died yet, was 150 years, because Great Britain ultimately is going to go down with United States of America. United States is only 80 years, even though they've been in existence for 250 years, it was only been a superpower for 80 years since 1945. Now, let's look into Great Britain a little bit. I put an asterisk to that. Let's go to slide number 5. All right, I'll read it. Can you read this for me?
Great Britain emerged as a global superpower gradually rather than at a single moment.
All right, so you look at, when you read about Great Britain just didn't pop, won a war, and became a superpower. They gradually became a superpower, which was different than any other nation or empire, put it that way. All right, continue.
You gotta get up.
Can you see that?
Not big enough.
All right, I'll read it.
Okay.
It said key stages. Number 1, foundations of power, late 1600s to early 1700s. After the Glorious Revolution of 1688 and the formation of the Kingdom of Great Britain in 1707. Right, 1707, that's the formation of the Kingdom of Great Britain, 1707. Write this in your notes. 1707, the Kingdom of Great Britain developed strong financial institutions, a powerful navy, and it began to expand overseas trade, colonialism. All right, 1707. That's what different islands they started to go to and colonize those islands, such as Jamaica. All right, all those nations that they went to colonize. Number 2, rise to world power. That didn't happen until 1763 with Great Britain. The world's leading power. Britain's victory in 7 Years' War gave it dominance in North America, India, and the seas. That's in 1763. The 7 Years' War gave it dominance in North America, India, and the seas. That's when they controlled America. All right, they controlled America. 1763, 7 Years' War. That's when they controlled India. India as well. Pakistan. They controlled that and overseas trade. Number 3, this is when they came peak superpower status. 1815 to 1914, Great Britain was at a superpower status. To 1914, Great Britain became the undisputed global superpower after the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Again, Britain became the undisputed global superpower after defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. So it merged gradually, rather than a single moment, became a superpower. All right. What is that slide number 8? What slide is that? 5? All right, continue on. Let me see what we got there.
6?
Yeah. Okay, forgive this the way it's portrayed on the screen. Okay, so during the 19th century, which is the 1800s, the British Empire became the largest empire in history. In the 1800s, the 19th century, the British Empire became the largest empire in history. Great Britain led the Industrial Revolution. You all know about the Industrial Revolution? That began by Great Britain from 1760 to 1840. The Industrial Revolution. The locomotive over here in the United States. The railroad. Industrial Revolution began with the Great Britain. And it was brought over here. But because before that, everything was what?
Horse and carriage.
Horse and carriage, not only that, but how was people
in the house?
How was people gathering their crops?
A sight. A sight. They're hand picking.
Hand picking.
Hand picking.
Yeah, hand picking. So how did that help? How did that change the course of slavery? When we was in those fields,
it eased up.
It eased up a little bit.
The work. It
Yeah.
eased up a little.
Yeah. All right.
Machinery.
Because now they was able to collect it much faster.
Right.
All right. Now, also think about it. Remember what was that? John Hammer. What was his name?
John Henry.
John Henry. Y'all remember the story with him? Y'all learned that in school?
They did that by hand.
He did it by hand before,
Him
right?
versus the locomotive.
Say it again?
Him versus the locomotive.
Yeah, the Israelite versus the locomotive. Okay? That's the Industrial Revolution. From 1760 to 1840 began with the Great Britain. That's what made Great Britain a large empire. Not only that, they had a Royal Navy that dominated the world's oceans. Name some of the islands that Great Britain owned or colonized back then and now.
The Bahamas was one of them.
You got Jamaica, all the Caribbean islands, Jamaica. You got Barbados. Okay. I mean, it's so many nations. Even when I visit Barbados, a lot of their natural resource has to go straight to Great Britain.
Yeah.
All right.
Even in Bermuda.
In
So
Bermuda,
they wear the English shorts that they call
Yeah.
Bermuda shorts. That come from Britain.
that's correct. And Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bahamas too. All right. All that supporting the colonialism of Great Britain. And they had a Royal Navy that dominated the world oceans during that time. Then it said London became the world's financial center in the 1800s, not New York.
Right.
It switched from London to New York. Once America came to power, it switched to New York. But prior to New York, there was London. London became the world's financial center. By the early 1900s, the British Empire controlled roughly a quarter of the world's land area and population. That's huge.
That's huge.
By the early 1900s, the British Empire controlled roughly a quarter of the world's land area and population. That's why you can see Buckingham Palace, how they lived like that. Okay? Yeah. Next slide. All right, this decline from superpower to status. Now, this is where they decline. Great Britain is not totally dead yet. They're not in the grave yet, but soon come. Soon come.
That's right.
All right? This decline from superpower status. 2 world wars greatly weakened Britain. After World War I, Britain remained powerful but faced growing challenges. After World War II, power shifted increasingly to the United States and the Soviet Union. So after World War II, everything shifted towards the United States and the Soviet Union. Those are the fastest growing nations because what? They had nuclear power, nuclear weapons. All right? That's why you had the Cuban Missile Crisis. That was between the United States and who?
Russia.
Russia. Okay? It wasn't even less than 20 years after World War II. 1948, 1955, you talk about less than, you talk about 12 years, 13 years. Less than that. After World War II, America and Russia was fighting over nuclear weapons. Right after World War II. Less than 10 years. Yeah.
And right before that, Russia and America were allies. Right before that Cold War started everything right there after World War II.
Con. And I say that, I'm going to emphasize that in the class, I'm going to show you everything is about nuclear power, nuclear war. That's why here Donald Trump says, Iran cannot have what?
Nuclear power. Nuclear missiles.
They can never have what?
Never have nuclear missiles.
Right.
Everybody but Iran.
So the empire gradually dissolved through decolonization. Then you see a lot of nations started to get independence from Great Britain as well. All right. Now, it says from 1763 to 1914, which is about 150 years, 151 years, Great Britain was a dominant imperial power. 1815 to 1914, about 99 years of the near unrivaled global supremacy. So they had a good run. Had a good run. All right, what slide number is that? All right, let's go to slide number 8. And then we're going to go into scriptures a little bit. Now, let's ask this question. Can you read that? Can the reader read that? Answer that. Let's ask this question.
If even the British Empire, the largest empire in history, rose and declined, what does that tell us about the preeminence of human power?
What does that tell you? Because that's going to go into a graveyard too. The human power is not permanent. All right? Human power is not permanent. Great Britain's going to go into the graveyard of history as well. All right? Remember, that's what history is. History to empire is a graveyard because they're all going to fall and die.
They will end up there.
All right? They're all going to die. All right? Now, let's go to Daniel 4:4. During the 4th chapter, and start the 4th verse.
Reading out the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 4.
All right, let's read about Nebuchadnezzar. Let's see, can we learn some history in there? Because the question is, the Most High ruling the kingdoms of men, but who has the ultimate authority? Is it human wisdom, or is another hand God in this? Let's find out. All right, continue.
I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house and flourishing in my palace.
All right, now you notice when you read this, who's speaking here?
The king.
It's Nebuchadnezzar. He's actually telling his story in the Bible.
Right.
The Most High made him write it in the Bible. This ain't nobody talking about Nebuchadnezzar. The Most High made him write it in the Bible. He's telling the story. He said, this is Nebuchadnezzar.
Autobiography.
Yeah, basically. And just imagine Pharaoh. Did Pharaoh ever do this? He never talked this way. Nah, he's like he's writing in the Bible. When I read it, I said, wow, the Most High, he got him writing in the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar. All right, continue. Start from the beginning.
I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house and flourishing in my palace.
Go ahead.
I saw a dream which made me afraid.
Yeah, he said, I saw a dream and made me afraid. You can lower that down. Go ahead.
And the thoughts upon my bed and the vision of my head troubled me.
All right. You see that now? Now, if he wrote this here, I want y'all to think about all the nations and leaders. They go through the same thing with the Most High. They go through the same thing with the Most High. Read the last piece up. He said,
I saw a dream which made me afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me.
Every ruler that ruled this earth had dreams from the Most High. Whether you know it or whether you don't. Had dreams. Did Pharaoh have dreams? So you think he the only one that had dreams? No. Nebuchadnezzar, he tell you how to dream. You think your President Trump having dreams?
Nightmares.
He got nightmares. Nightmares. That's one position that you don't want.
Right.
You do not want to be a president or king of a nation. You think it's all because you do have power. Don't get me wrong. You got wealth, you got power, you got prestige. You do have that. But boy, mentally, the Most High deals with you.
See how quick all of their hair turned gray.
Yeah, you see.
What you call it had orange hair. His hair is gray now.
Believe me. The Most High, whether you was handpicked or not.
That's right.
Because the Most High what? Rules in the kingdom of men. And he put the bases of men. You think he ain't got dreams and visions that making him afraid? Yeah. All right. They eat at him. All right. Make him go insane. Or you think it happened to Joe Biden? You think he had no dreams? Make the Most High. You remember, you got to admit, the Most High rules the kingdom of men. Every president, the Most High deals directly with them.
That's right.
He deals directly with them. Don't think it's they sleeping well in that White House. They're not sleeping well in that White House. Because everything controlled by the Most High. You know how many spirits is in that White House? The West End? How many spirits? Oh, man. You'd be surprised. The utmost spirits that's in those areas.
Principalities.
And principalities that's in those areas. So you don't want it. Don't envy that. Do not envy that. Because, believe me, they going through it. They don't get obsessed with. A lot of presidents have bags under their eyes. Look at your president now. Look at the bags under his eyes. Getting no sleep. He had a better life before he became president. I don't care how much wealth he has. He had a better life. Your president had a better life before he came into being the president. Now he was forced to be a president by the will of the Most High. All right? All right, continue with Nebuchadnezzar so we can understand what the presidents go through. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Go ahead.
Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream.
All right, because that dream, it troubled him. All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. Then came in the magicians and astrologers, the Chaldeans and the soothsayers. And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof.
All right, so all the top magicians, all right, the soothsayers, the wizards, they couldn't interpret the dream. All right,
they couldn't read it through the stars. They couldn't do none of that. They couldn't do the crystal ball. None of that. None of that.
They couldn't do it. Now, don't you think presidents, when they get into those cabinets meetings, they actually they believe me? You think one president say, "Hey man, last night I had a dream. You know, do you think we should go here? Do you think we should do that?" You think the president don't say that to the cabinet members?
Yeah.
In the war room?
Yeah, in the war room.
You think Obama ain't never say, "Hey man, I had this thought last night. I don't think we should go this route. What do y'all think?" Situation room.
Yeah. Nancy Reagan had an astrologer for Ronald Reagan. They had witches, you know. That's what they are. They had witches. What they call it, advising him.
Advisors. Yeah.
And then he lost his mind.
I don't remember nothing.
Dementia.
Yeah. Camp David, what do you think they be doing? They just ain't just hiding out there. They be talking about how they should move.
Yeah.
All right, so let's continue reading that. Get a scenario.
Verse 8.
Go ahead.
But at the last, Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God.
According to who?
The name of his God.
The name of his God. Now, you got to remember, it's Nebuchadnezzar. He's actually writing in the Bible. He's truthful here. He didn't say the Most High gave him that name. He said, this is the name that my God gave Daniel. All right.
See how really impressed Nebuchadnezzar was with Daniel. He named him after his own God. That's deep. That's above you. So he placed Daniel above himself.
Good. All right, continue on.
And in whom is the spirit of the holy powers. And before him I told the dream, saying, "Oh, Belshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy powers is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof."
All right, so even Nebuchadnezzar, even at this point, he's still worshiping his gods.
Yeah.
He's still worshiping his gods because he didn't use singular there.
Right.
So he included Daniel in that. So
right.
I know your God is among these gods, and here yours might be better. All right, continue.
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw and beheld a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great.
All right, so he said, there were the visions of mine head in my bed. All right, boy, he was going through it. All right, continue verse 11.
The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth.
All right, so he's basically explaining the dream. He talked about this tree, the tree that was strong, it was real tall in height, reached up to heaven. And it was the sight of it was all over the end of the earth. It could be seen. Continue verse 12.
The leaves thereof were fair.
Beautiful.
And the fruit thereof much. And in it was meat for all.
Go ahead.
The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it.
All right. So it basically took care of everything on the earth. All right. So he's basically explaining what he saw in his dream. Continue.
Verse 13. I saw in the vision of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and the Holy One came down from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
He cried aloud and said, thus, hewn down the tree and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it and the fowls from his branches.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field,
Mm-hmm.
and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him.
Go ahead.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giving it to whomsoever he will.
All right, so remember that. The Most High give it to whoever he will. Trump is in office because of who?
The Most High.
The Most High. The Most High allowed that. Every president that's from Washington on down, the Most High put them in office. Through, quote unquote, even if you want to believe through voting, you want to believe that, yes, you can believe that. But at the ultimate, that's the Most High. Okay? The Most High. He the one ruling the kingdom of men for his purpose.
That's right.
All right, continue on.
He will and setteth up over it the basis of men.
And the base he set up, and now this president we got right now is one of the bases of men. All right, believe me. The Epstein files, he's all in it. He's one of the bases of men. Imagine what he did.
He probably took the pictures.
Imagine what he did or what's in those Epstein files and videos of him.
Yeah.
Just imagine them kids.
That's right.
The basis of men that you see. Okay? All right, continue.
Verse 18. This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy powers is in thee.
Underline that. For the spirit of holy power is in thee. Now, who else had this type of power as Daniel in the kingdom of Egypt?
Well, Moses.
Moses had that too, but who in the beginning of the king of Egyptian empire? Joseph.
Right, Joseph. My bad.
What I'm trying to share with you is you are just like Daniel and Joseph when you read the scriptures. We're like that now when we read the scriptures. Because like we said, we read the scriptures saying to us that the Most High ruling the kingdom of men, right? Believe me. Even though your president may not want certain Israelite or black men to be around him, he's had fired and got rid of top generals that basically ran this country. Believe me, he's gotten rid of that. So actually, he doesn't have that power anymore in terms of to actually help him decipher which way to go.
Right.
Believe me, it was generals, black generals that told him, say, hey, man, do not go at Iran. Top generals told him, they were black.
That's right.
That don't go to Iran. You're going to open up a Pandora's box. So now he got rid of those. He don't have that power anymore. That's going to lead to his demise. Because he think, I know everything. I'm going to operate off my emotions. I'm a businessman. I'm going to do what I think at that time. I don't care about inflation.
They don't care about none of that stuff, bro.
I don't care about the price of gas.
We'll be all right. It'll come down soon.
Yeah, it'll come down soon. We're negotiating. Yeah. They're going to make a deal by tomorrow. If not, we'll blow them away.
Right.
We're over 100 days in this war.
Yeah.
And counting.
That was supposed to, we're going to obliterate them in 2 days.
And counting.
Yeah.
And counting. All right, let's continue on.
Verse 19. Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was astonished for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belshazzar answered and said, my Adawan, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof of thine enemies.
Go ahead, verse 20.
The tree hast thou sawest, that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king.
He said, it's you. So that's what Daniel told him. This you. You, that tree that's going to be cut down, basically. He said, it's you. Underline that in your script. It is you. All right, go ahead.
It is thou, O king, that art grown and becomes strong. For thy greatness is grown and reaches unto the heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth.
All right, now, I want you, as we read Nebuchadnezzar, I want you to think about America right now going into its 250th year with this administration, with this man that's administration right now. Think about it. This is it right here. Read that verse again.
It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong. For thy greatness is grown and reaches unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth.
All right, that's America, as you know that. And again, I want you to write what I said. History is a graveyard of empires who believe that they are indispensable. Always remember that. All great kingdoms fall sooner or later and wind up in the graveyard. Okay, continue.
Verse 23. And whereas the king saw a watcher.
All right, so hold on. Just hold on. I see you're still writing. I'll say that again. See, can you find that slide? I think that was slide 2. Go back to, if you can go back to it. Where it's a history, let's let them write this down. All right, I want everybody to write this in your notes. And this is my saying, everybody. If you hear anybody on any podcast, any news, anybody use these words, they got it from me. Any historian use these words, they got it from me. History is a graveyard of empires that believed they were indispensable. Write that down, keep that for yourself. All right. You can take that down. All right, continue on, reader, if you don't mind.
Verse 23. And whereas the king saw a watcher, and in the Holy One coming down from heaven, and saying, hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beast of the field till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my Adawan, the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beast of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Now, when you break down what it talks about, and they shall drive you from men, whether you know it or not, politics is a dirty game.
Oh, cutthroat.
That's one, how is the position? You don't want to be a politician because you got to lie all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cutthroat, backstabbing, setups that will make you go crazy. You know how many politicians that go crazy and go out of their mind, insane? A lot of them commit suicide because of the evilness, the wickedness that goes on in politics and administrations of a nation. And so he said it would drive you from among men, meaning mentally from among men. You're going to be sane anymore. That's what happened to Nebuchadnezzar. He became temporarily insane. All right, continue.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. After that, thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule.
Now, when he talks about leaving the stump, because the most I can take any man away from that nation. That nation, if he ain't finished with that nation, it's still going to stay there. The roots is still going to stay there. So he can take Nebuchadnezzar away. Babylon's still going to be there if he chooses to bring another person in. So those stumps, that's what he said, those stumps is going to be there. I'm going to separate you from the stumps, take you away from the stumps. All right, continue.
Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee.
Yeah, let my thoughts, let my counsel, let my ideas be acceptable unto you. Go ahead.
And break off thy sins by righteousness, and thine iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility.
All right, now, now this should be a lesson for all rulers upon this earth. Doesn't matter, President of the United States, King Charles, Vladimir, Russian president, Prime Minister of Israel. This is giving you a key what you should be doing. That last precept says, man, read verse 27. This is what your president should be doing. All right, continue. Verse 27.
Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness.
First thing, you got to break off your sins. That's the first thing all should be doing. Breaking off their sins. Separating from their sins. Go ahead.
And thine iniquities by showing mercy to the poor.
Showing mercy to who?
Showing mercy to the poor.
Your president ain't showing mercy to the poor. What nations, what ruling nations show mercy to the poor? None. They take advantage of the poor.
That's right.
Feed you lip talk. And take advantage of you. This is a lesson for them they should follow. Continue.
If it may be lengthening of thy day, thy tranquility.
The lifting of their tranquility. If you want peace of mind,
Peace of
this
mind.
is what your president ain't having no peace of mind right now. He's falling asleep.
Yeah.
He's falling asleep in front of he can't even stay up now.
Most I got him awake all night.
He's awake all night. All night he's awake. He's getting no peace of mind. None whatsoever. Don't think the president getting peace of neither his cabinet, none of them getting peace of mind right now. The Most High is wailing. He's going deep on America as it leads to 250th year. Because the Most High what? He rules in the kingdom of men. Believe that. So just have patience and have a saint. You got to have it now. But the Most High is moving mentally. I would not want to be a part of the Trump administration. All right? Continue.
Verse 28. All this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar. And at the end of 12 months, he walked into the palace of the kingdom of Babylon.
After a whole year, go ahead.
The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built?
So after he told him the dream, he still didn't listen, learn nothing. A whole year done went by. He don't gave him the interpretation of that dream. Told him what to do. Give to the poor. That's gonna increase your tranquility. A whole year gone by. He didn't do none of that. He didn't give to the poor the whole year. And what does he say here? Read that again.
I was going to read it again. Yeah.
Go ahead.
The king spake. All these came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty?
Now, who's that sound like your current president, right? He think everything that he created it. It's him, his intelligence and his character that created everything that you have. The new ballroom that you're getting.
Yeah, the new ballroom.
They have the octagon they're going to have on the day of 4th of July. All right? The $250 bill that's coming out.
A $250 bill?
Yeah, he's going to be in the face of $250 bill.
That's going to be some serious monopoly money. Man.
It's getting approval right now.
Hey.
All right? Well, they're going to have one for celebrate 4th of July. They're building a ring right now and near the White House. They're going to celebrate 4th of July with a UFC fight.
You're probably talking about the one that's in San Antonio. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the big one is going to be 4th of July.
Right. The big one, right in the White House.
All right. Like almost like the Coliseum back in the Roman days. You had the elites around the front. But it ain't going to be Israelites fighting no Romans, Edomites. It's going to be Edomites fighting Edomites.
Yeah.
All right. So we ain't got to be worried about that. All right. All right. Continue.
Verse 31.
Go ahead.
While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee.
So while he was saying it, the Most High took the kingdom directly from him.
It's the second time Daniel was in witness with that.
Exactly.
Happened to his son too. While he was yet speaking.
That's correct. All right, continue.
Verse 32, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beast of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
So ultimately, when it said drive from men, basically mentally, because once that happened, Nebuchadnezzar became insane.
Yeah.
His mind was out of here. He was done.
And they literally chased him out the palace.
Yeah.
Literally.
So they're going to chase Trump. He's going to be chased out of the White House.
If they don't knock him off.
Go to slide 9. Go to the next slide.
If you don't get knocked off, he's going to be having track shoes on.
Slide number 9. This is a picture they use of Nebuchadnezzar. All right, there go Nebuchadnezzar. Temporary insanity.
Yeah.
It's at the same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men. He was put in a psych ward, basically.
The whole wilderness.
Because the Most High deals with the kingdom of men. Psych ward.
Gotta acknowledge him.
All right. And he was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen. He's on his all fours. And his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagles' feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. Daniel's 4th chapter and 33 verse. And this is true. This is true. The Most High does the kingdom of men. All right, continue on. After class, we ask questions.
He's a king, so he used to be well groomed. That's where that's going.
Exactly.
Well groomed. He's out there, no grooming.
Now, as you know, he didn't have no beard.
Right.
Now he did. He didn't take care of himself according to their standards. Yeah, believe me. All right, continue on to verse 37.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. No, I'm in 34 right now.
All right, continue on from 34 to 37.
Okay, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up mine eyes unto heaven, and mine understanding returned unto me.
See, his mind came back. His mind came back. His understanding. Go ahead.
And I blessed the Most High.
Then he said, he started praising the Most High. Go ahead.
And I praise and honor him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation.
Now, I want you to understand that even though the kingdoms on earth are ruled by men, they still are the Most High's kingdoms.
Right.
For his purpose. They're not, but he can destroy man's kingdom for his purpose, because the ultimate kingdom is what? His kingdom. Because when Yahweh comes back, he's going to destroy what? That same kingdom that Nebuchadnezzar is talking about right here. All right? That's why Yahweh said to Pilate, he said, he would fight, but my kingdom is not from him.
My kingdom is not here yet.
Yeah. All right, because it's a totally different kingdom. But the kingdom right here, it says from generation to generations, that's going to end. That's going to end. America will be the last one. That's the last kingdom. America's the last kingdom that goes into the graves. Okay? Now, also, I want you to understand. Let me get it. I want you to understand that, Salakia. Let me get a socket, somebody over here.
Should
Socket. Okay. Continue reading.
Verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth.
Underline, read that again. That's a lot of information in there.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
All right, all the inhabitants of the earth was reputed as nothing. Remember that. Because the Most High's what? He deals in the rule the kingdom of nations. All right? They're reputed as nothing. Continue.
And he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven.
In the where? In the army of heaven. All right, now that's going to come. He's going to do what is willing in the army of heaven. All right, continue.
And among the inhabitants of the earth.
Among the inhabitants of the earth. So when that time comes, remember I says two kingdoms, Yahweh's kingdom and the Most High's kingdom. Okay, continue.
And none can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou?
All right, so when that time comes, ain't nobody can say nothing when the Most High comes destroy a nation or bring down America. There's nothing can do because nobody could do anything when Egypt went down, right?
No.
The Romans went down. Nothing you can do. It's going to happen the same thing. Remember, history is a graveyard for empires. All right, continue.
At the same time, my reason returned unto me, and for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and my Adawans sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me.
All right, go ahead.
Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride he is able to abase.
So now this should be the script and lesson taught to every ruler on this earth, is that if you don't do, like I said, give to the poor, if you don't give to the poor, and if you don't break away from your sins, that will insanity will happen to you. But as you know, a lot of the rulers of the kingdom is not going to do that. They're not going to do that, which is ultimately despise. That's where every nation fell. Because of what?
Lack of respect to the Most High.
Respect to the Most High. All right? Lack of respect to the Most High. They said when a nation falls, homosexuality is at its highest rate when a nation falls. Immorality, put it that way. Immorality is the key sign of a true nation that's going to fall. Immorality. Okay? All right.
And you know why the Most High is so angry at the nations? Because every nation that had an empire had Israelites for slaves.
Correct.
So the law was always there.
Yeah.
The Most High was always with those nations.
That's true. But it's all for our purpose.
Come.
All right, now, because we understand the Most High rules for his purpose, I just want to veer off an interlude a little bit, and I want to show you a video so you can understand what's going on right now this week. The last time I taught, I was telling you all about the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, that was a long time. Then you began to see what that was about. Now everything's about nuclear weapons. All nations are fighting for get nuclear weapons, either as a deterrent or to use on someone else. All right. Now I'm gonna show you a video. You think that video? Let me see. Can I share it first? John F. Kennedy. The name of the video is called "What JFK Said to Israel About Nuclear Weapons." It's about a 20-minute video I need y'all to watch to give you an understanding of what's happening right now this week here to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon. All right, but when we watch this video, it says what JFK said to Israel about nuclear weapons. Fair use. Go ahead. And it's actually historical. This is very historical. This is not something that's made up. This historical records. All right, fair use. Let me see. Can I pull it up first? Let me see. All right. Let me push play on it. All right. I want everybody to listen. It's about 20 minutes, but it's worth the listening to. So put it on the audience to watch this video because a lot of understanding this. All right. I'm gonna start it. You can see the photo of JFK on the phone. This is 1963. He's on the phone with the Prime Minister of Israel at that time. I want you to listen to this closely. All right?
May 18th, 1963. The White House, Washington.
All right. I'm forward. This is May 18th, 1963. This is primary evidence. Okay, turn up a little bit. Turn the volume up on that not on the computer. Yeah. May 8th. This is May 18th, 1963. This is John F. Kennedy talking to the Prime Minister of Israel about nuclear weapons.
D.C. President John F. Kennedy sits at his desk in the Oval Office. He is composing a letter. The letter is addressed to Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion of Israel. It is not a friendly letter. It is barely diplomatic. Kennedy writes, "This government's commitment to and support of Israel could be seriously jeopardized if it should be thought that we were unable to obtain reliable information on a subject as vital to peace as the question of Israel's effort in the nuclear field." This is the strongest language Kennedy has used with Israel. It is almost an ultimatum. The subject is Israel's nuclear facility at Dimona in the Negev desert. Kennedy wants American inspectors to have full access to the facility. Israel has been refusing, and Kennedy has had enough.
Now, at this time, you remember, this is 1963. Right? This is not even 20 years Israel is in power, or Israel's been around. Less than 20 years. Now, remember we talked about Great Britain. They said after Great Britain, the next ruling powers were the United States and Russia. They both had nuclear weapons that everybody known. At this time, Israel was small. They're not supposed to have a nuclear weapon. So John F. Kennedy was calling and said, hey, we hearing, and our inspectors telling us that you got nuclear weapons over there. We got to come see those. All right, now let's continue on.
Less than 1 month after this letter is sent, David Ben-Gurion will resign as Prime Minister of Israel.
You hear that? What? Less than one. The president of Prime Minister, he resigned after that. This is 1963, everybody.
6 months after this letter, John F. Kennedy will be dead.
Y'all hear that? 6 months after that letter, John F. Kennedy is killed after this letter. Repeat. 1 month after the letter, Prime Minister of Israel resigns. He says, I'm out of here. 6 months later, Kennedy is killed. Now, are we saying that that's what happened to Kennedy? But history doesn't lie when you go into the records. Now, this has all been declassified. Right. So we could say true, we could say fair use, oh, this is true history. And at the end of the video, it's going to tell you all this information has been declassified. All right?
This is the story of what JFK said to Israel about nuclear weapons, how he pressured Israel to stop its nuclear program, and how the conflict between Kennedy and Ben-Gurion became one of the most serious crises in U.S.-Israel relations. Let's begin by understanding what was happening at Dimona and why Kennedy cared so deeply about it. In 1958, Israel began construction of a nuclear reactor in the Negev desert near the town of Dimona. The facility was built with French assistance. France provided the reactor design, the equipment, and technical expertise. Israel told the world the facility was a textile plant. Later, Israel said it was a research reactor for peace.
So they started lying about it. In 1958, after the class, 1958, Israel began what is known as making nuclear empowerment in Dimona in 1958. They wasn't supposed to have that. The French was secretly helping them. The United States found out through spying that they were, and Kennedy approached them about it because they wasn't having nuclear. Only ones really supposed to have it was what? The United States, Russia. You had a few others, not many, but it had to be known. To this day, Israel is not supposed to have a nuclear weapon. All right?
Peaceful purposes. Both statements were lies. The facility at Dimona was designed to produce plutonium for nuclear weapons. American intelligence agencies discovered the construction in 1960. U-2 spy plane flights over Israel photographed the site. CIA analysts studied the photos. They concluded Israel was building a nuclear reactor far larger than needed for research. They concluded Israel intended to develop nuclear weapons. In December 1960, outgoing President Dwight Eisenhower confronted Israeli officials about Dimona. Ben-Gurion, who was prime minister, admitted the facility existed, but insisted it was purely for peaceful research.
Now, before Kennedy came to president, Eisenhower knew about it as well. And he approached Ben-Gurion about it. Okay? Eisenhower was before Kennedy.
Right.
All right?
Eisenhower was skeptical, but left the problem for the incoming president. John F. Kennedy became president on January 20th, 1961. He inherited the Dimona problem, and he decided it was unacceptable for Israel to develop nuclear weapons.
Now, Kennedy could have let it slide by, or something about him decided, nah, we want to know about Israel having a nuclear weapon. Now, like you said, it tells you, history said that he inherited that problem from the previous administration. So when it came across his desk, he had to deal with it. And he approached him. Now, back in those days, it was no emails. They wrote letters. Okay? They wrote letters to different nations. Okay?
Reasons were both strategic and moral. Strategically, Kennedy believed that if Israel developed nuclear weapons, Arab states would seek their own nuclear weapons. This would trigger a nuclear arms race in the Middle East.
That's the key. Even though this 40 years ago, this is what they're dealing with right now because of Israel. A nuclear arms race. That's why the president said Iran cannot have, because now it's going to lead to a nuclear arms race. Everybody's going to have nuclear just to protect themselves in position. Whether they use it or not, they want to use it as a deterrent. Now listen, I got one too. I may not have many as you got, but I got one. And nobody wants to deal with that. But all this is because of the 1960s. They're still dealing with this to this day.
Kennedy was trying to prevent nuclear proliferation globally. He had negotiated the Limited Test Ban Treaty with the Soviet Union. He was pushing for broader non-proliferation agreements. Israel developing nuclear weapons would undermine these efforts. Morally, Kennedy believed nuclear weapons were dangerous and that their spread needed to be stopped. He had seen how close the world came to nuclear war during the Cuban Missile Crisis in October 1962. He was determined to prevent more countries from acquiring these weapons. In May 1961, Kennedy met with Ben-Gurion in New York. Kennedy raised the Dimona issue. He told Ben-Gurion that the United States needed assurances that Israel was not developing nuclear weapons. Ben-Gurion gave those assurances. He said Dimona was for peaceful purposes only. Kennedy didn't believe him. American intelligence continued to monitor Dimona.
So Kennedy didn't believe him. Kennedy did not believe Ben-Gurion that it was for peaceful purposes. He didn't believe them. That was his gut, that he didn't believe them. Plus, the intelligence showed him, it came across his desk like, hey, man, this is what they doing in Israel, in Dimona. Kennedy read it across his desk and said, nah, I don't believe them. They creating this, going to make it dangerous. I already got to deal with Russia. Now, if he gets it, now the Arab countries going to want to get nuclear weapons, this is going to lead to devastation of everybody. Then it's not good for American empire, because everybody want to be equal to American empire. All right, so he didn't believe them.
Facility was growing. Construction continued. The reactor was becoming operational. Kennedy decided he needed verification. In the summer of 1961, he told Ben-Gurion that the United States wanted to send inspectors to Dimona. Ben-Gurion initially refused. After pressure, he agreed to allow limited inspections.
Now, check this out. The President of the United States approaches Prime Minister of Israel back in the 1960s about nuclear weapons. He said, I want to send inspectors to Dimona. The prime minister refused. Now, that should tell you, if he was able to do that in the 1960s, do you think the president of the United States can say anything to them now?
Nope.
Trump can't do nothing with the prime minister over there.
They're showing you that.
Nothing. And this is in the 60s. Kennedy's dealing with this in the 60s. He said he refused, but then pressure came. The United States had their part, and then you got to remember the politics come with it. The cutthroats, the backstabbing, all that is involved. Then you next door, he resigns.
Money changing hands.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
The first inspection occurred in May 1961. 2 American scientists visited Dimona. They were given a tour of the facility. They saw the reactor. They spoke with Israeli scientists. They filed a report concluding that the reactor appeared to be for research purposes. But the inspection was inadequate. The Americans were shown only certain areas of the facility. They were not allowed to take samples. They were not allowed unrestricted access. Israeli officials controlled what they saw. American intelligence agencies were not satisfied. They believed Israel was hiding the true purpose of Dimona. They believed there were underground facilities the inspectors had not seen.
Kennedy pressed for more inspections. In 1962, another team of American scientists visited Dimona. Again,
So Kennedy kept pressuring. The inspectors came back, said, hey, Kennedy, John, man, listen, we don't went there. We filed our report. Man, this underground bunker, they're not letting us access to where we know things are. He said, we know what he's underground, but they're not letting us access.
Right.
So they come back to Kennedy, say, listen, man, we can't get the full report for you. So Kennedy says, all right, I'm putting more pressure. He gets upset over this. He puts more pressure trying to find out about the nuclear weapons that they're trying to produce.
and they were given limited access. Again, their report was inconclusive. Behind the scenes, something significant was happening. Israel was deceiving the inspectors. Years later, after the facts became public, it was revealed that Israel had built a fake control room at Dimona. When American inspectors visited, they were shown this fake control room. The real...
Now check that out. Israel had that, they made a fake control room. Hey, this is Central Command right here. You know, this is what's happening. This is, you can see with just peaceful purposes. All that was fake. All that was fake. And then one thing, when you work for intelligence agencies and they send you on missions to do reports, and you put things, travel to do things in compliance, you come back to your report and it says inconclusive, that's not good. They don't want to hear anything about inconclusive. They want to see details, but the inspectors couldn't give no details.
Couldn't get access.
They couldn't get access. They knew everything was, but at the same time, Israel was making a fake command room. So if they were doing that back then, again, what are they doing now? Now, and this is not, and without getting too political,
control room and the real work of the facility were hidden from them. Kennedy suspected deception, but he didn't have proof. He continued to pressure Ben-Gurion. The correspondence between Kennedy and Ben-Gurion intensified in 1962 and 1963. Kennedy sent multiple letters. The letters were polite at first, but became increasingly firm. In a letter dated July 5, 1963, Kennedy wrote to Ben-Gurion, "I am sure you will agree that there is no more urgent business for the whole world than the control of nuclear weapons. We have been in touch with the Soviet Union and other countries regarding this issue." Kennedy was making clear that Israel's nuclear program was part of a larger global problem. He was treating Israel the same way he was treating other countries that might develop nuclear weapons. Kennedy continued in the same letter, "I am convinced that the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons is vital to the security of Israel." This was a key argument. Kennedy was telling Ben-Gurion that nuclear weapons would actually make Israel less safe, not more safe. If Israel developed nuclear weapons, Arab states would pursue their own. Israel would face nuclear-armed enemies. Better, Kennedy argued, to prevent nuclear weapons from entering the region at all. Ben-Gurion's responses to Kennedy's letters were evasive. He insisted Dimona was peaceful. He provided limited information. He allowed limited inspections, but he did not stop the nuclear program. Kennedy became frustrated. In May 1963, he sent the letter quoted at the beginning of this script. The full text of that letter, dated May 18, 1963, has been declassified. Kennedy wrote, "Dear Mr. Prime Minister, I welcome your letter of May 12 and am giving it careful study. Meanwhile, I have received from Ambassador Barber a report of his conversation with you on May 14th regarding the arrangements for visiting the Dimona reactor. I should like to add some personal comments on that subject. I am sure you will agree that there is no more urgent business for the whole world than the control of nuclear weapons. We have been in touch with the Soviet Union and with other countries regarding this issue, and I can tell you that we have been making some progress. As I wrote to you on previous occasions, this government's commitment to and support of Israel could be seriously jeopardized if it should be thought that we were unable to obtain reliable information on a subject as vital to peace as the question of Israel's effort in the nuclear field. Therefore, I asked our scientists to visit Dimona as often as seemed necessary for us to obtain reliable information. When we spoke together in May 1961, you said that we could make whatever use of the visit of two scientists to Dimona that we considered appropriate. I believe that this question of visits to the Dimona reactor is of sufficient importance to both our countries that I should like to have a better understanding between us on this subject. Kennedy then outlined what he expected: regular visits, unrestricted access, and truthful information. This letter was the strongest pressure Kennedy had yet applied. The phrase "seriously jeopardized" was barely diplomatic. Kennedy was essentially threatening to reconsider U.S. support for Israel if Ben-Gurion did not comply.
So Kennedy, basically in that letter, and this is full, you can actually see this letter, it's declassified now. He basically was threatening Israel, saying our support of Israel could be seriously jeopardized. That's a threat, basically. That if we don't get access to these facilities to see our support, everything we do for Israel is going to be jeopardized or taken away, basically, if we not allow our inspectors to come through. That was a threat to Israel. No president had ever done that, saying that they're going to take their support. You would never hear the current president say, we will take our support away from Israel. You won't even hear anybody in Congress say that they would not take they would take their support away from Israel. They would vote every bill, they would vote all monies would go to Israel. And if anybody has something to say about it, you are demonized. So if Kennedy was here today, he would definitely be demonized with saying that we're going to take our support away from Israel if you don't allow us to go into the inspections. All right, now this, like you said, this is historical, it's not political, this is historical. Just a little bit more, and this video is going to end.
Ben-Gurion received this letter. He did not respond immediately. Instead, on June 16, 1963, less than 1 month after receiving Kennedy's letter, Ben-Gurion resigned as Prime Minister of Israel.
So like we said, once that Kennedy threatened him and said, we're going to jeopardize support for Israel, he resigns one month later.
Ben-Gurion's resignation shocked Israel and the world. He was 76 years old. He had led Israel since its founding in 1948.
Since 1948, he had been the same prime minister all that time. Then all of a sudden, he did a surprise resignation 1 month after the letter that Kennedy sent. The same, he was the original prime minister since 1948. Something to
Brief
think about.
interruptions. He was the father of the nation. His sudden resignation seemed to come out of nowhere. Ben-Gurion cited personal reasons for his resignation. He said he was tired. He said he needed rest. He said internal political conflicts in his party had exhausted him. But the timing was striking. Kennedy's harshest letter arrived in May. Ben-Gurion resigned in June. Some historians have suggested a connection. They argue that Ben-Gurion resigned rather than comply with Kennedy's demands, rather than stop the nuclear program.
Other historians are more cautious. They note that Ben-Gurion had been considering resignation for some time. They note that there were genuine political conflicts within his party. They argue that the timing may have been coincidental. What is clear is that Ben-Gurion did not respond to Kennedy's May 18 letter before resigning.
So he never responded to Kennedy. He just resigned. He never responded. Once Kennedy sent the threat out, said, hey, this could seriously jeopardize our support for Israel, that was a threat for the United States. Like I said, you will never hear any politician ever use those words or tell Netanyahu, if you don't do what we do, tell you to do, or ask, this is going to seriously jeopardize our support for you. You will never hear those words. Seriously jeopardize. You'll never hear that. He's the only one that said it. And Ben-Gurion never responded to the letter. He just resigned.
He left the problem for his successor. Levi Eshkol became Prime Minister of Israel on June 26, 1963. Eshkol inherited the crisis with Kennedy over Dimona. He took a different approach than Ben-Gurion. Eshkol sent a letter to Kennedy in July 1963. Eshkol's letter was more conciliatory than Ben-Gurion's had been. Eshkol agreed to annual visits by American scientists to Dimona. He provided more information about the facility's operations. He tried to ease Kennedy's concerns. Kennedy accepted Eshkol's commitments, but remained watchful. Another inspection was scheduled for 1964. Then, on November 22, 1963, Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. Lyndon Johnson became president, and the pressure on Israel over Dimona effectively ended.
You hear that? Soon as Kennedy was killed, which he never really got a response from Ben-Gurion, and then the next prime minister came in, was trying to work something out, but then he's killed, and then Lyndon B. Johnson lets it go, drops the ball on it, then take the pressure away from Israel. Can y'all see that? It's not political. This is history here. All right?
Johnson took a different approach to Israel than Kennedy had. Johnson was more supportive of Israel. He was less concerned about Dimona. The inspections continued for a few more years, but became increasingly perfunctory. American inspectors were still not getting full access, and the Johnson administration was not pushing as hard as Kennedy had. By 1967, Israel had developed nuclear weapons.
About what year? 1967. Write that down. 1967, Israel, hold your question to the end. 1967, they had nuclear weapons. 19 years, hold it to the end. 19 years, right? 1948 to 1967 is 19 years.
Yeah. Well, I was 9. Yeah.
We'll hold it to the end after the video.
Exact date Israel achieved nuclear capability is disputed. Some historians say 1966, some say 1967, but it is generally agreed that by the time of the Six-Day War in June 1967, Israel had operational nuclear weapons. Israel has never officially confirmed that it possesses nuclear weapons.
You hear that? They never, even to this day, they never officially admitted that they got nuclear weapons, even though we all know history showed they already have it. But they never officially, and this was always an issue at the UN, saying they're not supposed to have nuclear weapons, Nobody's pressing them for nuclear. The reason why they got nuclear weapons. They never officially reported that, and they're not letting anybody in.
The Israeli policy is called nuclear ambiguity or nuclear opacity. Israel neither confirms nor denies having nuclear weapons, but the evidence is overwhelming that Israel has had nuclear weapons since the late 1960s. Today, Israel is estimated to possess between 80 and 400 nuclear warheads. The exact number is classified, but Israel is recognized as a nuclear-armed state, though not officially. The story of
it's recognized as a nuclear-armed state, but it's not official. And the 400 warheads, it's more than that. You know that. It's unclassified. They're not letting you know what's there.
Of Kennedy's battle with Ben-Gurion over Dimona raises several questions. What would have happened if Kennedy had lived? Would he have continued pressuring Israel? Would he have stopped the Israeli nuclear program?
These questions cannot be answered with certainty, but Kennedy's track record suggests he would have continued the pressure. He was committed to non-proliferation. He had confronted the Soviet Union during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was not afraid of difficult diplomatic conflicts. Some historians argue that Kennedy's assassination removed the most significant obstacle to Israel's nuclear program. They note that Lyndon Johnson, while friendly to Israel, did not share Kennedy's intense focus on non-proliferation. They note that the inspections of Dimona became less rigorous after Kennedy's death. Other historians are more cautious. They note that even Kennedy might not have been able to stop Israel's nuclear program. Israel saw nuclear weapons as essential to its survival. Israel was surrounded by hostile Arab states. Israel had been through 3 major wars since 1948. Israeli leaders believed that nuclear weapons provided the ultimate guarantee against destruction. What is not in dispute is that Kennedy tried. He sent multiple letters. He demanded inspections. He pressured Ben-Gurion. He used the strongest diplomatic language short of threatening to end the U.S.-Israel relationship entirely. The declassified letters between Kennedy and Ben-Gurion are remarkable documents. They show a president willing to confront an ally over a matter of principle. They show an Israeli leader refusing to back down even under intense pressure. They show a conflict that went to the heart of both nations' security concerns. The letters are now available in the Kennedy Presidential Library and in the Israeli State Archives. Historians have published them. Anyone can read them. They provide a window into a moment when U.S.-Israel relations were strained in ways that most people don't realize. Kennedy's May 18, 1963 letter, the one that warned that U.S. support could be seriously jeopardized, is particularly striking when read today. It is hard to imagine any recent American president using such language with Israel. The U.S.-Israel relationship has changed dramatically since 1963. Israel is now one of America's closest allies. The idea of an American president threatening to reconsider support for Israel over a policy disagreement seems almost unthinkable. But in 1963, the relationship was different. Israel was smaller, more vulnerable, more dependent on American support, and Kennedy felt he had leverage. He used it. Whether Kennedy was right or wrong about Israel's nuclear program is a matter of debate. Those who support Kennedy's position argue that he was trying to prevent nuclear proliferation, that he was trying to stop an arms race in the Middle East, that his concerns were justified. Those who support Israel's position argue that Israel needed nuclear weapons for its survival, that Arab states were existential threats, that Israel had the right to defend itself by any means necessary. What is certain is that Kennedy made the attempt. He confronted Israel. He demanded transparency. He threatened consequences, and he failed. Israel developed nuclear weapons. The Middle East did not become nuclear-free. Kennedy's non-proliferation goals, at least regarding Israel, were not achieved. Ben-Gurion resigned less than a month after Kennedy's harshest letter. Kennedy died 6 months after sending that letter. Both men were gone before the end of 1963, and the nuclear issue was left unresolved. Today, Israel's nuclear weapons are a fact. They are part of the strategic landscape of the Middle East. They shape how Israel is viewed by its neighbors and by the world. And they all began at Dimona, at the facility that Kennedy tried so hard to inspect, to understand, to stop. What did JFK say to Israel about nuclear weapons? He said that U.S. support could be seriously jeopardized if Israel did not allow full inspections. He said that preventing nuclear proliferation was urgent business for the whole world. He said that Israel's nuclear program could undermine global efforts to control nuclear weapons. He said these things in letters, in meetings, in diplomatic cables. He said them firmly, repeatedly, insistently. Israel listened. Israel made promises. Israel allowed limited inspections. But Israel did not stop. And when Kennedy died, the pressure ended. The nuclear program continued, and Israel became a nuclear power. Disclaimer: this video presents historical events based on declassified letters between JFK and Ben-Gurion, JFK Presidential Library, Israeli State Archives, Avner Cohen's Israel and the Bomb, State Department cables, CIA reports, and verified historical documentation. This content is for educational purposes.
All right, so that's fair use, fair use. All right, that's educational purpose. That's not political, that's historical. That's not political, but historical. So I wanted for you to see that video because there's a lot of information that, and that is what's happening right now this week here. That's what's happening right now between Iran and the current Trump administration. Is about nuclear power. Because Iran said Israel has nuclear capabilities and we don't trust you or them. So that's what you see right now. All right. So again, I'm going to stop right here. And like I said, the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. And you got to let the Most High do what he does. Believe me, it's heating up. Things are, America's 250 years old next month. Next month, 250 years old. So you gotta be aware of that. All right? All right, real quick.
Is the brother's death in the mind that it will be? Does that have anything to do?
Are they near it? Yeah. That's right there. Yeah, real quick.
Isn't that the same place that Iran bombed? At the beginning of the first nuclear strike, they hit.
They struck over there. Yeah, near there. Yeah, not the main one, but yeah, they hit something. They because they knew that was there. So Iran is smart. I'm teaching another class. Iran they're very smart. But like I said earlier, what's the issue with American administration right now with Iran this week is because Iran is saying that the United States don't have the experts because Trump got rid of all the experts that was into that knew about nuclear and negotiating and so forth, the stages of it. Because his son-in-law don't understand this, how that works, they're having difficulty negotiating over the nuclear issue. All right, and the world political stage has changed because of Strait of Hormuz. Iran says, I'm not giving that up. We're not going back to pre-war. We in charge of it forever, and we charging tolls to everybody.
Yeah, $1 million a boat, right?
As long as, and they said that's off the table, because as long as Hezbollah is fighting Israel, there's nothing y'all can do. All right, so the Mossad is wrapping this thing up, and just watch how this goes. Trump is going insane. All right, and I'm gonna stay out of political. I'm not into the political part too much. Keep that from the class. We the house today. We're not gonna get too political in terms of that over the air. We'll do that. We'll do that on how would you say on the boots on the ground. We do it that way. All right. All right. With that, you got a question?
No, Francois Duvalier.
Question? You got a question?
No. Francois Duvalier was the president of Haiti at the time, what's known as Papa Doc.
Mm-hmm.
He said when Kennedy was shot, he put a curse on him.
Put a curse on who?
Francois Duvalier, Papa Doc, he put a curse on Kennedy at the time he got shot.
He put a curse on Kennedy?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, he ain't put no curse on him. Yeah, he ain't.
You can say what you want to say.
He ain't put no curse on him. Because the Most High do what?
He rules in the kingdom of men.
For his purpose. For his purpose. All right? And with that, I say shalom, 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 shalom. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was long.